channel where I navigate chronic illness, which I trying to live my best life. I hope you're doing okay. I am doing all right. Man, it feels like I haven't been on here a while, but for you guys, it just seems like a week. I have been really spotty in my recording and just taking my time mentally to recuperate and feel better. In my last video, I showed that I was dealing with panic attacks, and I am doing a lot better. Last night was my first time having one in like about a week and a half or so, so that's definitely an improvement, and I will gladly take it. I have been getting myself out of the house more, trying to appreciate the small things, and just really focusing on my mental health and not shutting down. I have been having some issues here and there with my chronic illnesses, which is expected, but I've been really trying to stay focused on what I can do and what is the best way to spend my time, whether it's resting or being creative or with my family, or finding a way to get out of the house to enjoy, you know, some little bit of time out. And I'm never doing too much because it's really unpredictable, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of just me getting out a little bit. It was actually really nice because I went out, it was after 4th of July, and we were out at night, and we ended up seeing like the best fireworks show ever, and it wasn't on 4th of July, and I'm like, this is the best. I need to remember this date, time. And we were driving so close to where they were going off. I actually, from my like front view window where I panned up, and it was like right there where they were shooting off. So I was like, I have to share this because it was beautiful. My daughter was so excited, and I was glad because on 4th of July, we don't usually go anywhere because we have one of our dogs that are really scared of the sound of the popping of the fireworks. So scared. He's so much older, but he'll pee the bed or pee wherever. So we try not to leave him when there's fireworks. So I was so happy that I could actually take her out and see them. And this is what that day was like. Unfortunately, when I did go out, I did end up getting pretty sick. When I was at Target, I was in my little vroom, the little motor cart, and I was doing pretty good, but somehow my body still manages to get upset to the point where that's not enough. Like there's still more that I need to do. One of the times I went out, I took an extra dosage, like a higher dosage of my beta blocker, and it did help me, but I still ended up getting sick by the time it was wearing off. So I just know that whenever I'm out, I have an hour to 2 hours, max 3, like 3 if I'm really lucky, of feeling good, and then I'm done. So I never can do anything for too long, and a lot of my activities end up being right in this area, and that's why I've made it like so my oasis. I'm itching to kind of do more home stuff and like change things around. I get like that probably every 3 to 6 months, where I want to switch things up and make things a little more geared toward like whatever I'm in the mood and feeling. So I'm trying to figure out, I already did my art wall. Now I'm trying to figure out what else I want to do. I've been doing a lot of like internal dialogue and thinking, and it has been helping me a lot. Like journaling has been so amazing. Something I created that I really like, and at first I started out where I called it my accountability journal, and I was trying to keep track of like what I did and how I did it, if I got to the things that were on my list or not. And I realized that made me feel like a huge failure, honestly. Like it made me feel like I was not reaching any of my goals ever. So I kind of changed and reframed the way that I was going to approach like keeping a ledger of what I did. I went to Daiso and I got myself nice highlighters, and I had this journal. We're not a journal, notebook. I have it in a pouch. Of course, we know me and my pouches. And of course decorated it with a bunch of stickers. Keep the sunny side up, inhale positivity, exhale negativity, be kind to yourself. Today's a nice day. Whoa girl, you're shining. Still arise. Yes. Love yourself. And these are just like positive affirmations. Choose your dreams. Take the risk or lose the chance. Don't trip over what's behind you. Old ways will open new doors. Grow through what you go through, and then let the good times roll. And so I just like decorated this notebook up. It's one I had for a while, and I changed this to make it more about what works for me, even though it's still a form of an accountability journal. So I just like started writing, brainstorming in my head. There's no formality to it. This is just what works for my brain quickly. I wrote like my daily needs to be more realistic. I need to make sure like I get to my hygiene. I want to make sure I get to my room and making my bed. I want to create and I want to do school planning for my daughter. If I haven't explained this before, my daughter is homeschooled and I am the one in charge of her curriculum. So yes, on top of like being chronically ill, I do ensure that her schooling is done. I could go into that further if anyone is interested. I am very, I have, like I've said, my family is very not traditional when it comes to a lot of that stuff. And I have my opinions on it that I could share if you're interested. But then I wrote a note to myself in here that there's days I cannot get out of bed. When I can, it's a bonus. When I can't, it's okay. And it's important that I tell myself these things even when I am feeling good or when I'm feeling bad. I need to make sure that I note these things to myself, because a lot of times when I am not feeling good, I will loathe and I will get very upset and almost hateful toward myself. And I have to make sure to really practice not getting that way. I also wrote to myself, changing my perspective on accountability and accomplishment. Sorry, I said that weird, but you got what I was saying. And on one of the days I wrote, I did not fail because I wasn't able. My body said stop, rest, and so I am. And then I wrote about how I adjusted my plans and what I managed to do and why it's okay. And then one of the days I wrote, it's okay, there's always something. I didn't do this to myself. Dealing with chronic health challenges does not make me weak. I also notated to myself, yesterday was tough, but I found a way to do a handful of things. It'll all be done from the comfort of my bed. So these are like, I honestly just sit down and brain dump what I'm thinking. One of the days I wrote my goals for the day. I wrote down what medicines I had to take, what I wanted to do for my social media. I asked myself, did you do your best? If your answer is yes, then be gentle toward yourself and try again tomorrow. And it sounds so simple, the things that I'm writing, but there's so many times that we say these things to ourselves and then we go right back into the cycle of being mean to ourselves. And this is actually nice to be able to look back, and how I'm explaining it to you, that I'm able to look back and tell you what was happening to me on these days. I will not lie, I have not written in this in a little while. And it's not because I haven't wanted to, it's because I tend to jump around to what provides me comfort. And so I have been doing a lot of art instead. And that is what's providing me calm. Sometimes it's writing. Another time I told myself, reality check, stop trying to be something or someone you're not. There may very well be something to manage health every day. Focus on what can help and let go of what hinders. I am not to blame, but I am responsible for handling it. I am strong. Health symptoms do not equal weakness. Every day I try. I hold myself to the standard of grace, not perfection. My mental health is what will get me through this. I love me. I am worth the fight. Tomorrow I will get to try again. And this is just one day, my thoughts that I had written down. I had highlighted the way it helped me. Another day I just wrote tired and what I did to refocus my brain. And honestly, if you do not journal, sometimes I feel like they make journaling so complicated. There's bullet journaling and then writing like long excerpts of journaling and all this stuff. And sometimes it's just nice to have like a simple, not fancy notebook that you can throw around and say blah, 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 boom, and you're done. I like to do the little highlighting. These are my tools. A pen and highlighters. Those are the tools I have, and as long as I have these two things, I am able to sit down and do my brain dump, and I very much so need it a lot of times to clear my head, but also to engage with myself and have a conversation and say, hey, you're okay. Like I am okay. This is hard, but I am okay. Because sometimes you just don't even want to try, honestly. Sometimes you're just like, I'm done. I'm just gonna sit here and melt into my bed and not do anything. And so this is something I would highly, highly suggest. If you do something like this, let me know. Oh, also I created this little, it didn't come with this thing, this little string thing, but I like having a bookmark. So I just created one and put little beads on the bottom, and now I have a little bookmark that stays in there. But if you guys are gonna do it, or you do it, or whatever, let me know. I love just learning how other people deal and what they do in order to get through this process. This is not only for someone that's chronically ill. This is life. This is anyone that's living can do this. It doesn't always have to be. My channel is not only about because you're chronically ill. It's also about just like daily life and living and how to get through the ups and downs, twists and turns, ebbs and flows, peaks and pits, whatever you want to say of life. So please comment and let me know if you're going to do this, if you do something like this, what is your system? I feel like such a doofus. I ended up hurting my back doing my closet and moving things around, and it burns really, really bad. I shouldn't have been lifting and moving, and I get carried away, especially when I'm organizing and I feel like so excited to get something done. But as a result, I am definitely hurting. I had to take all my pain meds that I possibly can, and I have been rubbing a cream from the apothecary that my pain institute prescribed to me, hoping it helps. But I definitely overdid it, and that is completely my fault. So hopefully I get myself together and start acting right. I thought I should check in. It's been a while, like maybe a week or a little less, and I haven't really been coming on. I don't even know what I've been doing. I've been feeling weird, and I can't really put my finger on what is making me feel weird. So I've just been kind of taking it in and focusing on me and saying, hey, it's okay. If you don't get to it, you don't get to it, and there's nothing wrong with that. So that's where I've been. But I realize now, I'm like, okay, you need to pop on here and say whatever you're gonna say, even if it's completely just rambling. So here I am. Oh my goodness, it is so hot in the desert. I'm looking at it, it's 110 degrees, but I grew up in the desert, and I'm like, oh, it feels kind of nice tonight. It's crazy to think about what is nice to people that are native to this kind of weather. Because I see other people and I can tell they are struggling. But then I'll see kids out riding their bikes. So it's kind of not funny, but I don't know what the word would be. Oh, I'm out of breath because it is hot and it does trigger my POTS, but it's nice to be outside a little bit, and it's sunset, and as you know, I go out when it's the sun going down because it's better for my skin or my body. So I got through the week. I feel pretty good. I love when I'm able to help in my house, and just, I think I had a mental breakthrough of just knowing it's okay if I don't get to something. It's okay. Like, it doesn't mean that I'm this horrible person. I put so much pressure on myself, and I noticed that it's not ever so much for me. It's always for other people. I always start feeling so poorly toward myself when I don't feel good, when I'm not able to do for my family, or I'm scared of how other people will feel, or I'm scared of being left and abandoned. I don't want people to leave me because I'm sick. And understanding that little difference in, I'm feeling all this angst, not because of me, but because of me worried about what other people are feeling or thinking. It brought on such a new perspective and helped me really cope with a lot of the harsh thoughts that I have toward myself. I always feel like it's like a timer, and I'm always at the end of that timer. It's always ringing. It's always time is up. And I need to be okay with not healing in the time limit that I say I have to heal. I always feel like one day, okay, I'm annoying. 2 days, it's, I still need help. 3 days, that's the limit. I should be okay. My third day, if they have to help me by the fourth day, I need to be okay. And that is not realistic. So I really had a breakthrough in my head, because I really, if I'm trying my best and I'm not just saying I can't because I don't want to do it, then I can't get mad at myself, and I sure as heck shouldn't let others make me feel bad for that as well. That's been my week. I try to catch up on all the spots that I might have not had any speaking parts in, because I do try to just record when I am doing stuff, but sometimes there's just no sound to it. There's just me doing it, and I want to show you how I do it, how I fold the clothes, how I am able to go shopping, how I'm able to clean, how I grip this or whatever. And that's a lot of times why I am showing it, just so you guys can kind of like see how I maneuver through life and the adjustments that I make so I can live my best life while chronically ill. Hope you guys are having a good day or night. Take care.